Well, good morning, and welcome to the Morning Report. My name is Willie Lawson. The Morning Report is a production of fightbackmedia.com, 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 and fightbackmediatv.com. We're glad you're here today. Today, you would think that we are beyond, after all we've seen, this idea that boys should play sports on girls' teams. However, we are not. There's a case here in my state, the state of Florida, where it is actually a state crime. It is criminal behavior. Maybe that's a bit much, but it's criminal behavior for that to actually happen. And we have this story of this mom who actually works at the school where her son attends, who decided that, you know what, the law doesn't apply to them. The only thing that matters is their feelings. So the law, screw the law. That's what we're dealing with here. So we can't wait to get started with the story. So here we go. Let's see here. This is not them, but I want to make sure that this is what we're dealing with. We're dealing with the whole idea of protecting trans students. Well, we're not protecting trans students. What we're actually doing is endangering girls in sports. I'm sorry. I know that your son, your boy, because that's who he is, has decided that he wants to be a girl. It's funny that we mentioned all this a long time ago, more than 4 or 5 years ago. We talked about why this is happening, and one of the reasons is happening because in schools, boys get in more trouble than girls. And it is because too many, and I believe this from watching it, from studying it, too many young women are teachers, especially at the young grades. And the gold standard for behavior is how girls behave and what girls do. So, who doesn't want to be on the winning team? Who doesn't want to be on the team that, or the side of the fence that gets all the praise? So, you know what? If I could just be like a girl, I could just do girl stuff, then you know what? My teacher will like me. Everybody will think I'm awesome. I won't get in trouble with the boys. So and if you are encouraged in this and the least bit confused, this becomes something that you go with. I know that that's my psychological analysis of the situation. Being degreeless, I have you know that I have a Facebook degree in immunology as well. But we've been dealing with this for a while. So, no, that's not orange juice. But I kind of wish it was. In any case, so this is what we're dealing with. Let's go ahead and get to this story. This happened down in South Florida, of course. A public school employee in South Florida is facing firing because she allowed her son, now what's written here is transgender daughter, but I won't say that because she allowed her son to play on the girls' volleyball team at their high school. This week, she issued remarks where she doubled down on her decision. The mother, her name is Jessica Norton, reportedly gave the remarks at the Broward School Board on this past Tuesday. Norton worked at Monarch High School in Fort Lauderdale, where her son attends school. According to several reports, an anonymous tipster, I don't like anonymous anything, if you think it's a problem, just stand up. Say so, put your face in the camera, put your face in the door, and say, you're breaking the state law. Anyway, notified a school board member that last year, the 16-year-old boy was playing on the girls' varsity on the girls' varsity volleyball team in violation of state law. The tip led to an investigation that led to Norton being suspended from her position as an information management specialist at the high school. She's one of those tech people. I was one of those tech people. Shut up. Shut up before you... Shut up. I was one of those tech people. That's one of the jobs that I had when I worked in the school system. Um, anyway, in addition, she was, of course, the volunteer coach because if you work there, if you work at a high school, you know, because frankly, in Florida, if there's a thing that one of the things that's lacking is that coaches for sports normally have to work at the school and normally don't get paid, or if they do, they get a stipend or a supplement, and the supplement is in it's so small, it's ridiculously small, it's hardly worth doing. If you put the hours in, is usually much less than minimum wage, so it's hardly worth doing. I mean, thanks for the little extra money, so at the end of the season, we can go have dinner. It's that little money, really. But now she's facing possible termination. She says this, district leadership tried to ruin my life, but instead you destroyed a 16-year-old's life. Norton reportedly told the school board on Tuesday. They destroyed his high school career and his lifelong memories. No, they didn't. Norton's son had been elected to leadership positions at the school. Several outlets noted the kid was popular. You broke the law. Here's what she says. I saw the light of my daughter's eyes gleam with the future plans of organizing and attending prom, participating in and leading senior class traditions, speaking at graduation, and going off to college with the confidence and joy that any student like her. Okay. This sounds like Munchausen by proxy. It just sounds like Munchausen by proxy. That your kid is horrifically sick, and you're just encouraging it. You're making it worse. What this mom is doing is making it almost impossible for her son to wake up one day and go, nah, I was wrong. She is creating this funnel of horrible disaster that her son can't work his way back through. She says now the family is challenging the state law that created the investigation. Her attorney says this is not an issue that sprang forth from actual community concern. Apparently it did. Jason Starr, family attorney, told NBC Miami, this is a minority of loud individuals who are creating a solution to a problem that doesn't exist and creates more problems. This is the whole gaslighting thing that we did the other day. This is not a problem. And it will say this isn't even happening, except that we can see it happening. That we can actually see it happening. Now, here's the question you have. Well, who reported this? Well, it's anonymous. Well, Willie, who do you think reported it? Again, it probably comes from one of two places. Three places. Somebody's daughter who didn't make the team or didn't get to play because this boy was dominating on this girls' team, or it was somebody who lost to them, maybe in a tournament, maybe in a match, and someone said, hey, wait a minute, they've got a boy on their team. Well, they're not supposed to have boys on their team. That's not fair. You know? And that's probably where it came from. But again, unfortunately, it came from a coward because the idea is that person decided not to stand up and say, hey, that ain't right. And here I am. Here's my face. And I agree that he shouldn't play on their team. That is, I think it's wrong. Now they lost. I'm looking in 23 last year in October. Let's see, they lost the district tournament to Stoneman Douglas. 3-0. Now, the day before they beat Coral Springs 3-0, and they lost to Cardinal Gibbons 0-2. So, could it be from one of these schools? Possibly. But it doesn't. But it doesn't even matter. This idea, this ridiculous, outrageous idea that boys, biological boys, should be playing on these girls' teams is ridiculous. Now, if you're here's the deal. Here's the deal, Mom. Let me talk to you. Come here. Sit down. Let me talk to you. If your son believes that he's your daughter, that's one thing. But because of, I don't know, biology, science, common sense, he can be your daughter everywhere else. At the local fish fry, he can be the sophomore class president. He can be whatever. He could go to prom. He can go to prom, wear the long dress with the back out, the whole nine. But what he can't do, and this is what I'm saying, what he can't do, because he is a boy, biologically, is compete with other girls. Compete with girls. I know how sad that must make you. But this is the path that your kid is on. And this is the path that you won't let him off of. Because you don't believe that you can. I only feel any sympathy for you because I understand how tough it must be. But I also have empathy for the girls in that team, for the real daughters, and the other parents who have been shamed into silence, and the girls that are on the other team. Obviously, Monarch got to the district tournament, the 7A District 13 tournament, and got blown out because they lost three straight there. So I'm not sure if it did them any good, right? Let's see. I need to find out some more information, and I will to find out. How much the kid played, how much they scored, that kind of thing. We'll find out. What do you think? Do you think that people are making a mountain out of a molehill because it isn't happening enough to make a difference? Or do you think it doesn't matter? If it happens, to you, it's a huge deal. Even if it isn't happening a lot. Fortunately, prayerfully, not many people are getting murdered. Doesn't mean that murder shouldn't be illegal. I know, that was a huge jump, but I made it. Tell me what you think in the comments. My name is Willie Lawson. This has been The Morning Report. The Morning Report, again, is a production of FightbackMedia.com, 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 and FightbackMediaTV.com. Until we see you again, go out there and learn something, love somebody, and for goodness sakes, take care of yourself. We will see you when we see you. Bye-bye now.